Yes, exactly. But then you go back and by contrast look at Jack's kind of path and uh, it, Jack Draper. Yes, semifinals U.S. Open last year by hook or by crook he did it. Defaults where they be, but he did it, and now he believes that he's that guy, and he's carrying himself like that guy. He is just like steadily just making improvements, like expecting things out of himself, climbing the rankings, very workman. And so, I have some Jack Draper thoughts, but the match itself was just a little like Jack just kind of did the thing that like Medvedev did and like Zverev did, like big guy moves well enough.
Yep. Reminds me a lot of Cam Norrie about 2 years ago when Cam made a push to top 20. Just surprised a lot of people with the backhand holding up, surprised people with the serve, had the ability to come a little bit different game. Jack didn't come in quite as much as he used to, and Cam came in a little bit more, but really kept it pretty standard with the cross-court backhand, looking for the inside forehand. I mean, let's be honest, that's his game, but was probably better off the return than you thought, better off the backhand. I'm talking about Cam, but I'm saying Jack has a bigger backhand, in my opinion, and I know Cam took it on the rise. Jack's backhand, quiet as it's kept, Jack's backhand is his best shot.
So I have in my notes that Jack Draper is one of those not lefties. Like you watch him play, and it's like he doesn't do lefty stuff. And I'm left-handed, right? Lefties we all like to do. So we like to work things, work the spin. And you often see a lefty with a pretty solid backhand because we come up playing against righties and we bang cross courts, and that's a thing. And then after the match is over, guess what I saw Jack do? Taking off his wristbands, throw them in the crowd. He throws them right-handed.
There you go.
He throws them right-handed.
I saw it.
He throws them right-handed. The things you learn. Off topic, Russell Westbrook, I saw him signing autographs the other day. He's left-handed.
Left-handed, yeah.
What are we doing?
Rafa's right-handed.
What are we doing? I mean?
There's that. I've always, and this is a weird thing, and I get this even with club players, ladies in my alpha teams, and even juniors. There are righties, there are ambies, and there are lefties.
Okay.
And depending on, and I know what the stats say, 13% of the population, blah, 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 blah. I think it's actually less that are actual lefty.
Okay.
And I think there are 15 to 20% of the population that are ambi. For whatever reason. We don't need to go down the rabbit hole of ambies and the stats. But there are that select few that have that unbelievable talent of both sides that I think have found a way to trick the brain to understand the left and right side that just have the ability to do both. That's why Rafa's serve was never that big, because he's right-handed. You know what I mean? You just can't train the right arm. You can't train the left arm to be what the dominant arm would have been, and vice versa. But 22 Grand Slams later, he did okay. I'm just saying, Jack right-handed. You mentioned the other players. There are so many guys like that I've seen. So many two-handed forehand. Both forehand, double forehand type players I've seen. These guys are just, in my opinion, are just special. Back to Jack, as most righties are, right? That he has a left-handed, he has a right-handed forehand with help on that backhand side.
Yeah. More Torglu is always preaching this left eye versus right eye dominant thing.
Yep, your dominant eye.
The dominant eye, yeah. And so, when it turns into a timing issue, like it's one of those, like Jack just maybe, outside of the fact that he does throw right-handed, just feels better, sees it better on that side.
That left eye may be his best eye.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I hit the backhand a lot more compact than my forehand on my right side. And even when I messed around with baseball, like I'd always want to bat on the right side. When I play golf, I golf on the right side. I use scissors with the right hand. Like it's one of those.
My father is also left-handed.
Okay.
He is such a dominant lefty that he golfs right-handed and just putts left-handed, right?
Okay,
for the same reason. You can appreciate.
Maybe I'd putt better.
All right. So I say it to say, I've seen this before. My brother is one of those ambies. He can do it either way, always could, can hit left or right, was actually stronger on the left side, had more control on the right side. Just one of those kind of things.
Right,
he played a lot of golf and scratch golf for back in the day. So my point is I've seen this in my own family. And getting back to Jack Draper, the biggest piece I see with Jack, and I went back and watched some previous matches with him and Holger. I was trying to figure out why on paper has Holger, why did he have that much trouble, right? I went back to, I think it was Western Southern. It was a Cincinnati, I think last year when Jack played Holger.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what round it was. It could have been the semi, but Holger had his way with him all day long. I mean, it was an absolute clinic. And it was funny to me how, in looking at the two matches, the court position was completely different for both matches.
Mm.
In this match, right, in this final, Jack's, ironically, and you would think, it's counterintuitive, you would think the guy holding baseline is the guy that's winning the match. It's the guy that was giving ground that was winning the match.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing with Jack.
It was so what I would call, counterintuitive. In the previous, I mean, when I tell you Jack is hugging the baseline, taking the balls early in the Cincinnati match, looking classic clean, and every once in a while, and hitting big by the way.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, that loopy forehand just got up there, and when Holger had a chance to reset, get the ball deep, Jack had problems. In this match, Holger was on top of the baseline. Now,
right.
Holger could not have played a more tactical match, but at some point, Holger's power is not his strongest suit, and it almost got him to playing a style of play that, for me, is a little bit at the red line of his engine. He's not a power goes through you kind of player. But the more you play on top of the baseline and play on the rise tennis, you better have a step forward and some volley skills that are just going to continue to go through the court.
And Jack will make you do it over and over and over.
And Jack will make you do it over and over.
Which is what he did to Carlos. It was almost the same. It was almost the same thing.
Almost the same type of thing.
Yeah.
So where Carlos has that go through you ball, right? I don't know if Holger has that same type of ball per se. To your point, the profile. I don't know if he had, and we know he didn't have the huge serve, but 30 plus consistently. Now, I'm saying when Holger goes back and reviews the tape, his team, and they go back and review the tape, what did I do well against Jack when I beat him before? I reset more. I rolled a little more. I didn't drive as often because I think what he actually ended up giving Jack pace to work with. I don't think Jack's a go through you type of player. He likes pace. So he's not a pace creator. Right? Yeah. So I feel Jack actually benefited from Holger's court position and time. That's
so
right.
Let's turn that back. Let's turn that back in maybe the other direction, right? Okay. So there was a time where Jack was working with Wayne Ferreira, right? After Wayne and Francis split, Wayne goes to Jack's camp for a little bit and is very adamant about Jack playing bigger, right? Yeah. So that I think that might have been about that same time. And it was a very short-lived relationship because Jack, by nature, like he's not that kind of guy. And I think he needs more time to even produce that stroke. 100%. He doesn't like to, he is a big dude who doesn't play big dude game.
100%.
Very much so, like almost like Zverev, like a lefty Zverev, if you will.
Very, very similar.
He's more comfortable with more space back there. Exactly.
If anything, he drives off the back end like Zverev does. Rolls the forehand, needs time to set it up. As you said in the previous episode, his forehand technique does not allow him to hit a bigger ball.
Yeah, and I stole that from Andy Roddick too. Let's get it twisted.
We'll give credit to Roddick.